Ever wonder why there are so many different types of sanders? Well, we're going to explore that, as well as look at one type of damage that often results from misuse, plus walk you through an easy maintenance repair to fix that damage right now here on Shop Tales and Lore. From tiny detail sanders to massive multi-head wide belt giants weighing 2 tons or more, understanding the various categories and features of power sanders can be anywhere from puzzling to downright intimidating. Even the basic assortment of machines at the local home center can be perplexing. To help sort out the confusion, let's take a look at those most likely to be found in the home workshop, their common uses, and problems that can result from pushing these tools beyond their intended limits and purpose. For the sake of this discussion, think of these machines as falling into one of 2 categories. 1, those sanders designed for stock removal, and 2, finishing sanders. A few tools may overlap both groups to a limited extent. Also, this analysis is a little oversimplified, but remember we're talking here about the needs of the average home craftsman, not processes or special purpose tools found mainly in specialty trades or commercial shops. The portable belt sander is an aggressive tool that does one thing very well. It removes a lot of material fast. It's best used for surfacing rough stock or flattening wide glued-up assemblies such as tabletops. Stationary belt sanders, often equipped with a sanding disc, are useful for shaping parts that are too small or awkwardly shaped to safely bring the tool to the work. As the name suggests, finishing sanders are the right choice to prepare a project for stain or paint. Over the years, they have taken different forms and relied on a handful of basic technologies. Early finishing sanders produced a reciprocating action that was effective without leaving unwanted scratches on the surface. I don't yet know the entire history on these tools, but this Sears Craftsman model is from the late 50s and was marketed as a sander polisher. This Dremel ad dates from 1945. If you have more comprehensive info on the origin and background of reciprocating sanders, please let us know in the comments. Next to arrive on the scene were random orbital sanders. These are just as effective as the reciprocating type, and their oscillating action produces less vibration, so they're more comfortable to use for longer periods. There are 2 basic formats of RO sanders. Those where the abrasive is attached to a square or rectangular pad, and those with a round pad that rotates while oscillating. This latter type is a little more aggressive and can be used in a somewhat wider range of applications. At the same time, this versatility makes it easy and tempting to try and use the round disc ROS in situations it was never designed for. When we try to force these light-duty sanders to do stock removal or flatten large surfaces, we risk damaging them with excessive wear or destroying the tool altogether by burning up the motor or causing bearing failure, etc. All rotary random orbit sanders have some sort of brake to suppress the RPMs and keep the pad from spinning uncontrollably. When this feature is broken or worn to the point that it no longer functions, this is the result. At this rate of rotation, the sander no longer works as intended and will make deep swirling scratches each time it's applied to or lifted from the work surface. If we compare a new replacement part with the worn brake from this Milwaukee Series 6021 sander, the difference is obvious. The tabs that apply resistance to the disc and keep it under control are completely worn away on the old disc on the left. Granted, this wear will occur over time even when the sander is used gently, but bearing down on the tool in an effort to force it to remove material or strip finishes or prep rough lumber, etc., will shorten the life of this part, and the sander, for that matter, astronomically. Replacing the brake begins with removing the Velcro or PSA pad. Your brand and model may vary, but on most of these sanders the brake is removed by splitting the lower portion of the case. Locate and remove the screws holding it together. Be sure to look for hidden fasteners that may be under adhesive labels, etc. Now carefully split the two halves of the lower body, watching for any retainers, alignment studs, or other small parts that may become dislodged. On this model, the top surface of the brake has a series of L-shaped tabs that lock into grooves molded into the two halves of the body. Just wiggle it a bit to slip it over the disc mounting hub and release it from the case. Just reverse the order of steps to install the new brake and reassemble everything. Positioning the brake may be a little easier if you go ahead and release the second half of the body from the motor. This helps to ensure that all of the brake tabs are locked into their respective slots. I like to use a hand driver to replace the screws, just so nothing gets cross-threaded. For a little extra insurance, I'll rotate the screw a turn or two against the thread direction, in this case counterclockwise, to make sure the threads are engaged before carefully tightening the screw. There are no second chances with these plastic threads. Now just replace the Velcro or PSA pad to complete the assembly. In this case, since the old pad was badly worn and I had to remove it to replace the brake anyway, I just went ahead and added a new one. With a new disc in place, it's easy to see that the new brake has restored the proper, controlled rotation of the pad. And that's all there is to it. You can tackle this simple maintenance task, and after your sander's back in service, take it easy on that poor little ROS.